Thank you for having us here at Riverside and also at Grace Baptist. And it really is wonderful to be here in front of you during the Juneteenth weekend. If I did not know better and I just came in from the back and I was blindfolded, I will know I am in a church because the first row is kind of empty, right? But regardless, thank you. When people hear me talk and they hear my accent, they say, "You're not from here." I say, "Yeah, I'm not from here." "Are you from Africa?" They say, "Yeah, I'm from Africa." And they say, "Are you from Uganda?" If they are a little kid. Or they say, "Are you from, the jungle?" And I say, "No, actually, I'm from Abyssinia, the land of the free, the birthplace of Queen of Sheba, and almost the origin of humanity, not just because I'm black and I'm from Ethiopia, but also, as you can see here, this is the remain of Salam, which translates to peace, of a 3-year, it is estimated, child that is over 3 million years old. So I kind of feel like humanity started to originate in that area. But growing up in Ethiopia with limited means, I didn't have a chance to travel within Ethiopia, but several years ago, me and my wife were able to go back and visit the place which is alleged or rumored or legend has it, the Ark of the Covenant is stored. This, the one on the left, it is the Church of St. Mary of Zion in the northern part of Ethiopia. And the right-hand side is Church of Lalibela. It really was a church that is chiseled out of stone and made down as opposed to being built up. And me and my wife, again, were able to visit that church. My parents, my grandparents, I should say, worked in the church. And at home, I was raised as an Orthodox. My parents decided to send me to a boys-only Catholic elementary and high school. But my favorite holiday was Ramadan. I go to the neighbors every day for 30 days, or however long Ramadan lasted, was feast every night. While my neighbors finished praying, I was sitting there. I said, "You guys are done. Enough praying. Come, let's break bread." So you can imagine a few years after coming to the US, 3 months before my 26th birthday, while I was in graduate school and newly married, I was told I have this thing called multiple myeloma. And they say it was cancer. And they said you will be dead in 2 to 3 years and you will not be there to see your 30th birthday. And that was really devastating, not only to me, but to my parents. And that was the only time ever my dad, who is in the Ethiopian Air Force and trained here in the US, I saw him cry for the first time. But one, we needed to find out what was multiple myeloma. How do we deal with it? And how do we, if I only have 2 to 3 years to live, how can I maximize my life during those 2 to 3 years? And so, following the military analogy, it really was an air, land, and sea defense and offense we needed to deploy. For me, the air defense was the power of our faith and the power of prayer. It didn't matter who our neighbors were, Muslim, Christian, or didn't have any faith. We asked them to help pray for me. And if they didn't believe in anything, send good vibes, and I was okay with that. So that is air defense, if you would. For me, also the land defense is being able to use the power of God through medicine. And I was able to find the most prominent myeloma doctors. I was able to find the most prominent myeloma treatment centers and be able to really take advantage of living with myeloma, hopefully not dying from myeloma before I turned at the age of 30. This picture you see here in the left is, I think it was like 18 or 19 tubes of blood that they collected when they were trying to do a particular procedure. And this is me in the hospital bed right before they did surgery, and they put a big catheter over here for them to be able to take blood on one side and put blood back on the other side. And while the blood was out, trying to separate my stem cells so I can get eventually a stem cell transplant. But I can't do this all by myself, right? I have a caregiver, my wife, but she kind of sleeps on the job, as you can see there, right? And she's not going to live down this picture. But so for me, leveraging medicine and ensuring timely diagnosis, access to treatment, as Dr. Joe says, the 4 T's, and being able really to navigate your myeloma journey is important, and what I call the land defense and offense. The last one is really the C. For me, C is community. Being able to be part of the International Myeloma Foundation as an advocate, as a support group leader, leveraging others in my journey and sharing my story freely has been really empowering. And I stand in front of you here today, 28 years after my diagnosis, having celebrated my 53rd birthday. So I think thank you. And about a year and a half ago, I have the privilege of coming to the IMF full-time and being the president and CEO and helping us continue to move forward and in an impactful way. But I am very cognizant of the fact that if I lived in Ethiopia, I will not be standing here in front of you. Not because I was be shopping on Fifth Avenue, but because I would be dead because of inequalities in access. So that inequality in access is really not about developed and underdeveloped or developing countries. It really is also within the US, there is a big disparity in access. There is a big disparity in being able to get the treatments you need that your doctor prescribes. And not only within the US, based on age, gender, ethnicity, but even within 2 zip codes that are adjacent to each other, there is a significant amount of disparity in outcome that in most cases is exacerbated by a disparity in access. So as I close this, for me, myeloma is personal. For me, putting this event and ensuring that other patients like me are able to live longer, hopefully, or even not die of myeloma as a result of them having access to therapies and having access to information is important. One of the biggest things I really learned over my 28 years living with myeloma is there is a tendency, if you have a chronic, long-term, incurable cancer like multiple myeloma, to work extremely hard not to die. But we forget to live. So I'm here to remind you, regardless of what you have, whether you are our sponsor industry, a myeloma patient, a myeloma doctor, there is something going on in your lives that would probably remind you to pause your life. But I urge you and encourage you not to do that. And I encourage you, while avoiding to die, don't forget to live. So I'll leave you with this, which is today, I hope you get engaged. I hope you get inspired. I hope you get curious, informed, and connected. If you are a myeloma patient, if you know someone with myeloma, this is my email address. And if you live here or anywhere else in the US and you need a second opinion, I know someone who can provide you a second expert opinion. If you need to go to MSK and have access to Dr. Usmani, I know how to get hold of him. Take my email address, call me, email me, and now I will invite the Chief Medical Officer of the IMF back onto stage.